Hello traders, so it's another weekend and we're going to do a quick weekly market outlook to prepare ourselves for the week ahead. So this week, the US government officially shut down and the markets are reacting fast. But what does a government shutdown even mean and how does it shake the Forex market? Before we proceed into doing the analysis for next week, let us break it down. So when we're talking of a US shutdown happens when the government runs out of money to operate. And this is because politicians can't agree on a budget. So it's like a family that can't agree who pays which bill. So nothing gets paid until they sort it out. So what happened on this US shutdown right now is a standoff between the Republicans and the Democrats, fighting over how much to spend and whether to extend certain healthcare subsidies. So the Democrats are fighting for these healthcare subsidies, and the Republicans are looking to have a stringent budget and cut what we call unnecessary programs. So no agreement has been reached means no money, and the world's biggest economy is partly frozen. And this means government offices, the Federal Reserves are closed, workers go unpaid, and confidence of the US government and the US dollar has dropped. So on the part of the market, when US shutdown occurs, uncertainty hits every market. This means the stock market usually will have a fall, and the bond market becomes a safe haven together with gold, and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin also rise. And for currencies, that's where it gets interesting now because for us, volatility means opportunity, and you need to know where the market goes, where the volatility lies, because when the US dollar can do two things in this scenario: weaken because of the slowdown fears, but also it can strengthen because traders run to safety, and that's when we call the risk on and risk off. Where risk on means confidence, people would buy currencies that are risky, like the euro, the pound, the Audi. But risk off means fear. People would sell off those risky assets and go to safe haven assets. So safe assets like the US dollar itself, Japanese yen, the Swiss franc, gold, silver, etc. So what should we expect next? If the Congress finds a deal fast, the market should come down, they will breathe, the dollar could drop, but it will come back to stability. And risk pairs may rally, but if it drags on, we should expect the safe haven to dominate. So pairs for emerging markets like the South African rand, you find losing in value. So USDZAR basically will be going up. So either way, volatility is opportunity if you understand the mood. And we did understand the mood this week, and we took off some few trades. And we also looked at how these safe haven assets were performing, like gold, silver, the same for the Nasdaq 100, even the S&P 500. So basically, they formed a peak reset, and right now we are expecting them to go up. So you can see here we have a very good peak reset, and the market had moved until Friday. So the market maker cycle still holds, but the fundamentals will determine the trend. So let's now jump right into our analysis for next week, and we'll be looking at the same pairs we've been looking and analyzing for sometimes now. We have been following EURUSD, EURJPY, gold, GBPCAD, and USDZAR. So let us start with Euro USD as usual. We are going at the monthly time frame, and on the higher time frame, we are looking at the market structure of price action. So the market structure has been bullish for some months now. Since the bounce of this order block, I did break this market structure here. And you can see how last month candle closed last week, and we are now still on a bullish momentum here. And this is how the weekly candle has closed. So we can expect rise for the coming week. And as we are expecting for dollar to weaken because of the economic uncertainties that are in the United States right now. Therefore, for pairs like Euro USD, we should be expecting them to rise. So the fundamentals are aligning with the technicals here. So right now, we have a peak for us to take a trade. So we'll be looking to buy this pair. We'll be looking to buy this pair. So our anticipation, we have a stop and low. Stop and low rise. So a stop and low to that EMA, yeah? So to the 800 EMA. And then when it gives us a pattern, then we take a buy. For EURJPY, we followed this pair last week, and Japanese yen has gained strength since the US economic shutdown because of the characteristics that it's also a safe haven asset. So investors in times of economic uncertainties like this, we expect for them to buy this safe haven assets, and therefore Japanese yen actually gained strength last week. So that means a sell on EURJPY, USDJPY, and right now it bounced around the 50 EMA. So as we still expect it to continue selling because of the strength on JPYs, we should be looking for a peak reset. So a peak reset area. If we look at the TDI, we have a peak here. Our reset zone is on that 50. So on that 50 EMA is where we, on that level 50 is where we expect this RSI line to actually form a reset there. So our RSI price line, that is what I am expecting on our RSI price line. So on the other one, we now have a peak formation low. So right here, and we took a buy trade. I remember we took a buy trade on Thursday, and on Friday early it did hit our TP. So right now we have our area of reset right here on this 200 EMA. So that's where we expect for price to form a peak reset, but also we have a breaker block right there. So we should anticipate for a peak reset to occur around that area. So a peak reset. So if these confluences come together, we take a trade to sell on EURJPY. So you should also be looking to sell a pair like USDJPY. For pound CAD, our market structure is still bullish. So our market structure is still bullish here. And you can see how last month candle has closed. And on the weekly, we are still on a very good bullish market structure. However, this here was a consolidation pattern. As we have been following this pair, we are on that consolidation zone. And right now, you can see here, price is trying to break this high here. And with the US economic shutdown, it also affects airlines. So, and airlines usually are the biggest buyers of the crude oil. So prices of oil, we expect for them to fall. And that would affect the Canadian dollar. And the Canadian dollar has been weak. So therefore, it is wise for us to look for buys on these pairs like GBPCAD, USDCAD. That's why we were buying these pairs last week. So as for right now, we are still anticipating for a buy on GBPCAD, and this here was a peak formation low. And if we draw now the ADR boxes, so ADR is around 104 at 107, so ADR times 2 and ADR times 3. So we are still going up to find the third ADR. And this is how it closed this week. So price might do a stop hunt or might offer a straightaway trade on this. So it might do a stop hunt low to previous low. So here, which is also the London low. So for Monday week beginning, you can expect for that. And then high. And for USDZAR, so the South African rand is on the emerging market, and during economic uncertainties, usually investors tend to sell off currencies in the emerging market. So we're expecting weakness on the South African rand during this period. So this is the monthly time frame, or say the monthly time frame is still having a strong bearish market structure. The same on the weekly time frame. So not one or other is suggesting for us to buy. And this is the daily. So we have pins around the 13 EMA. We have pins around the 13 EMA. Let me draw that area of support here. So we have pins around the 13 EMA indicating a reset now. And here we have a sharp fin for a reset. Okay, so the technicals are suggesting for us to sell USDZAR. However, with the current fundamentals going on, we can only sell USDZAR on the basis of that the dollar is weak. But on the basis of that the South African rand is an emerging market, we should be looking for buys. So this is a pair that we need to be careful with when trading next week. So we will leave it be. Yeah. So on gold now, a safe haven asset, you can simply see it's making new highs. Price is now around 3,886. So it's making new highs every week. So price has formed a quick reset here. So a bounce around the 5 EMA, just like what it did here, and we had a complete cycle. So right now we are having a peak reset, and you can see price has been rising, coming back to the order block. It did rise, it returned back to this order block. So right now we should simply expect for stop and grow rise on this. The same if you're trading silver, and the same if you're trading S&P 500. So for safe haven assets. Okay, so those anticipation for next week. Any comment, any question? Mr. Charles, I can see you just joined.
Yeah, brother. Yes, how you doing, guys?
I am doing very, very
well.
we're
good, Charles. How are you?
I'm very good. Very good. I joined
So
late.
one question. With the current situation, the government shutdown and all, what can we say about the market risk? Are we risk on or risk off? And what does it mean to the market?
Okay, so we cannot fully determine right now if we are on risk on or risk off, but we can say people have lost confidence on US dollar. So during this US shutdown is different this time because it has happened in periods with high economic uncertainty. So to euros themselves, they have their own economic uncertainty, GBPs. So this here is different. It has instilled fear to the to investors, but we cannot conclude that we are now at risk off. Yes, cannot conclude because people are buying euros and pounds. We can see pounds and euros also buying. So we cannot fully determine. So we need to give it some times because the US shutdown does not have a time limit. So if it's prolonged, then investors now will we will determine the investors' sentiments or the mood at a later time. Okay.
Yes, that's clear. Thank you.
So this what we are taking now are the short-term market reactions that come with the fear. That is what we are trading now. Okay. Any question? Any other question? If there is no other question or a comment, then I guess we should all have a good good evening, and let's wait for the market open. Don't forget to catch us live every day from 10 a.m. We'll be checking and doing analysis, but then we'll be taking live trade setups. So you can join us and trade with us. So otherwise, have a good and profitable trading week ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Norbert.